Is the soul eternal? Are we really destined for heaven or hell? For millennia, philosophers, theologians, and spiritual seekers have been captivated by the question of whether the soul is eternal and whether we are destined for paradise or hell. These are profound existential inquiries that pertain to the fundamental nature of human existence, the afterlife, and the soul's fate. Diverse philosophical schools, spiritual frameworks, and religious traditions provide a diverse array of viewpoints on these topics. Is the soul eternal? Even though the soul's essence, purpose, and destiny are interpreted differently across cultures and belief systems, the concept is fundamental to many religious and spiritual traditions. The following are several critical viewpoints. The Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The soul is typically regarded as eternal and separate from the physical body in the Abrahamic religions. These traditions posit that the soul is a creation of God and will endure beyond physical mortality. Christianity. According to Christian doctrine, the soul is an eternal aspect of an individual, created by God and destined for an afterlife in either paradise or hell. The eternal destiny of the soul is contingent upon one's faith, actions, and relationship with God. The resurrection of the body and soul at the end of time is a belief held by numerous Christian denominations, particularly during the final judgment, when all spirits are judged by God. Judaism. Judaism holds a variety of perspectives on the afterlife and the soul. In certain Jewish texts, the soul is suggested to be eternal, while others prioritize the present existence. Nevertheless, there is a belief in the future resurrection of the dead, and the concept of the world to come, Olam Haba, in which souls exist in a condition of reward or punishment. Islam. The soul is also considered eternal in Islam. The soul is separated from the body upon death and awaits the day of judgment, when all souls will be judged based on their activities in life. The sinful may be condemned to hell Jahannam, while the virtuous will be rewarded with eternal life in paradise Jannah. However, God's mercy is a central theme, and there is the potential for eventual forgiveness for many. Buddhism and Hinduism. The soul, or Atman in Hinduism, Anatta in Buddhism, is viewed in the context of reincarnation and cycles of rebirth in Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism. The soul Atman is believed to be eternal and to enter a cycle of rebirths, samsara based on karma, the moral law of cause and effect. The ultimate objective is to achieve moksha, which is the liberation from this cycle, and to reunite the soul with Brahman, the ultimate reality or divine source. Buddhism. Buddhism in its original form teaches anatta no soul, which posits that the enduring self or soul we perceive does not exist in reality. Nevertheless, the elements of consciousness and karmic energy persist in a cycle of rebirth until one attains nirvana, a state of liberation, and the cessation of suffering. Philosophical perspectives. The question of whether the soul is eternal has also been a topic of debate among philosophers, particularly those in the Western tradition. Plato. Plato is renowned for his assertion that the soul is immortal and exists both before and after its existence in the body. He thought that the soul pre-exists in the domain of perfect forms before birth and reverts to a transcendent state following death. Aristotle. Aristotle held a more complex perspective, contending that the soul is the form or fundamental essence of the body. He did not fully embrace the concept of an eternal soul in the same manner as Plato, despite his belief that certain aspects of the soul, such as intellect, may persist beyond death. Heaven and hell. Are we predestined for one or the other? The concept of heaven and purgatory is fundamental to numerous religious traditions, particularly in the Abrahamic faiths. However, its interpretation is contingent upon one's belief system. Christianity. Christianity posits that the destination of humans after death is either heaven or damnation, contingent upon their moral behavior and faith in Jesus Christ. Humanity can be rescued from eternal separation from God, hell, and can achieve eternal life in paradise through Jesus' death and resurrection, which is the central belief. Heaven. Heaven is portrayed as a state of eternal union with God, devoid of suffering, evil, and death. It is the ultimate recompense for those who have remained faithful to God and have embraced Christ's salvation. Hell. Hell is a place of eternal separation from God, where souls experience torment and punishment as a result of their crimes. Hell is frequently linked to spiritual mortality, alienation, and an unfulfilled existence in Christian doctrine. Purgatory. In Catholic Christianity, purgatory is a temporary state in which souls undertake purification before reaching heaven. It is a process for those who die in grace but still require cleansing from lesser offenses. Unlike hell, which is eternal, Islam, Paradise Jannah and Torment Jahannam are also divisions of the afterlife in Islam. Jannah is depicted in the Quran as a state of eternal bliss where believers are granted serenity, joy, and proximity to God. In contrast, Jahannam is a place of torment for those who perpetrate grievous sins and reject God. Nevertheless, Islam also places a strong emphasis on God's mercy, and certain scholars believe that a significant number of souls may eventually be forgiven and enter paradise after undergoing atonement in purgatory. Buddhism and Hinduism. Hinduism and Buddhism both emphasize the cycle of reincarnation rather than the dualistic concepts of eternal paradise or hell. Nevertheless, they continue to hold beliefs regarding realms that are reminiscent of paradise and hell. Hinduism. Hindu scriptures delineate a variety of heavenly Svarga and hellish Naraka realms in which souls may momentarily reside, contingent upon their karma. Nevertheless, these realms are not eternal, as the soul ultimately reincarnates into a new existence. Buddhism. In a similar vein, Buddhism describes a variety of realms of existence, such as the celestial and hellish realms, in which beings may be reborn based on their karma. These are not eternal locations. Rather, they are a component of the perpetual cycle of rebirths, samsara, secular and philosophical perspectives. The concepts of paradise and hell are frequently interpreted metaphorically in contemporary philosophy and secular thought, rather than literally. Many secular thinkers regard them as symbols for the consequences of our actions and decisions in this life or states of consciousness, rather than as locations we visit after death. Free will, predestination, and human responsibility. The equilibrium between predestination and free will is a significant issue that arises when discussing the eternity of the soul, hell, and paradise. Is our eternal destiny genuinely ours to determine, or is it predetermined by divine will? A. Christianity. The doctrines of predestination and free will are how Christianity addresses this inquiry. Predestination, the notion that God has already determined who will be redeemed and who will be damned, is emphasized in certain theological traditions, including Calvinism. In contrast, Arminianism and other Christian denominations prioritize free will, asserting that individuals possess the ability to choose salvation through moral behavior and faith. B. Islam. Islam also emphasizes the importance of maintaining a balance between human responsibility and divine will qadar. Although God is sovereign and is aware of all things, humans are still responsible for their actions and will be held accountable for them. Religions of the East. The law of karma is a fundamental concept in Hinduism and Buddhism. The soul's future destiny is determined by the cumulative repercussions of past actions. However, there is still potential for spiritual development and liberation, moksha or nirvana, through the exercise of free will and ethical behavior. Conclusion. Are we predestined for heaven or hell? The religious or philosophical perspective significantly influences the question of whether we are destined for heaven or damnation, as well as the eternal nature of the soul. In some capacity, the soul endures beyond death, whether through eternal existence in paradise or hell, reincarnation, or a final union with the divine, as affirmed by the majority of major traditions. Ultimately, the response to this query frequently reflects an individual's worldview, beliefs regarding the nature of life, and the role of human choice in determining our ultimate destiny. Although numerous traditions emphasize human responsibility and free will, others underscore the divine sovereignty in determining the course of our lives and our spirits. In any case, The pursuit of comprehension regarding the soul's nature and its eternal destiny remains a fundamental concern of religious, spiritual, and philosophical inquiry, as it pertains to the most profound aspects of human existence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us keep creating content you'll love. Thanks for watching.